guys, welcome back to Cooking with the Frisbees. I'm Beth, Keith is behind the camera, and today we're cooking prime rib.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
It's gonna go on the smoker, and this is what I love about it. I'm going to do an herb butter that I'm gonna slather all over it. It's about a 4-hour cook, so we do a really nice slow smoke on it, give it lots of yummy flavor on the inside, and then he'll do a reverse sear at the very end. So I do this butter with all the herbs from our garden, and it slowly kind of melts into the meat as it cooks. So I'm gonna start with a stick of unsalted butter. Unsalted, why? Because I'm gonna go ahead and add salt and pepper to it later, but I wanna be able to be in charge of how much salt I'm putting on it. So
Beth just likes to be in charge.
that might be it too. So I'm just gonna add all my herbs in and I'll let you know what I'm doing. So these are just some green onions. This is oregano. I didn't measure anything, so I'm guessing this is about a tablespoon, maybe a little bit more. This is sage. Sage is really strong, and it tends to be a little woody. So I'm actually not gonna add the whole thing. I'm gonna do about half of this. Rosemary, again, is really strong, but I love the flavor, and I love the flavor with this particular cut of meat, so I'm gonna add all of it. And of course, can't go wrong with basil. My poor basil is struggling so hard this year, it's so sad.
It's the heat.
It really is. The ones that I've planted in between some of the cucumbers, I think because it keeps some of the heat off of it, they're doing a little bit better. And then chives and garlic. So I'm gonna go ahead, put both these guys in here and press them. There we go. I'm just gonna take my spatula. Now I've had this butter sitting out all morning, so it's pretty soft. I say that as I struggle. I could whir it up if I wanted to in a food processor. It would probably cut the herbs down a little bit more, but the smell, it's so fresh. Another helpful tip, if you're ever going to use this, is I do the same thing with my turkeys, but if you take your meat out while you're bringing it up to room temperature, leave it uncovered and let it dry out a little bit, you'll find that the butter will spread on the meat much easier. So that said, let's get to spreading. So Keith called ahead to Publix and asked them for a 3-bone prime rib. We had them cut, you can see it easier on this side. We had them go ahead and cut the bone off of the meat, and then they truss it back up for us. We all know that bone-in meat tends to have a lot more flavor and have a stronger taste. So we want to keep that flavor from the bone with the meat, but trust me, when it comes off the grill, it's going to be a lot easier to serve and to cut when that bone is off. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. See how easily that just spreads because the meat is dry.
That's a lot of butter.
It is a lot of butter. Butter makes everything better.
But hey, you know what? This is our 4th of July weekend treat is what this is, so.
Oh yes. The alligator.
A lot of cooking going on. The kids are out of town. So, lots for us.
I was gonna say, we don't have to share with anybody.
No sharing.
Just kidding, kids. Okay. And then the last little bit I'll put over the top, but you see there's a really large fat back on the top. But as that melts, this will melt along with it. So we don't need a whole lot. Now, Let's get some salt and butter. Salt and butter. Salt and pepper. And then after this, Keith is going to go out and get that grill started. Oops.
Yeah, I'm going to set it up. I think I'm going to use a combination of hickory and cherry wood on this.
Oh, that sounds fantastic.
And we'll come back when I'm ready to do that. But again, you know, I know a lot of people call it cheating, but we use the meter. It really hasn't let us down in a cook.
And doesn't that
I grab it
delicious?
and show it to them, so they see what I'm. You guys have seen me use this before.
This is the meter.
Yeah, it works.
It does. I mean, and the nice thing is that you can set it up. Obviously, we're going to keep it away from the bone. You can set it up for what type of meat you're cooking, and I think that makes all the difference in the world. I think you are really good at knowing what temperatures everything needs to be at, but it's still very helpful. It kind of helps you. It gives you the whole cook time frame, so you know going in, this is going to be 4 hours or this is going to be 8 hours, like either one, or maybe not even. Maybe
but you still have to watch it. So it shows you ambient temperature inside the meat. But you know what we've learned is you don't bring it all the way to that temperature, because once you take it off,
right,
it comes up another 10 degrees.
It's going to continue to cook, right?
But
it's carryover cook.
But I can't say enough about it. It's a very helpful tool, and I would definitely tell anybody, I would recommend them get this, and that's no paid sponsorship. We're not.
Yeah, the one thing I would mention though is that it does get corroded or get crud on the sensor, which is back here. And you really do have to
clean it properly.
I think you've actually scraped it.
I do. Sometimes I take a razor blade or a knife's edge and scrape it very carefully. I'm not trying to take the metal off. I'm just trying to get, as you cook, it gets that brown on it, or if you use a base or a liquid, it gets something on it, and it's not going to charge because it won't contact with that metal.
That is the little piece of metal that it's got to contact with. But it's very, it has
tool.
little magnets on the back that it clips onto the side of the fridge, and has a little button and it'll tell you whether it's charged or ready to charge. So yeah, it's a super cool tool.
It's a good tool.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us. Come back later when we start the smoker. See you soon.
Hey guys, the time is now. It's time for the prime rib to go on. So it's being cooked on the Masterbuilt 560 gravity feed grill, charcoal grill. That is such a mouthful. They really need to shorten that. And which I've used hickory wood and cherry wood. And then of course with the charcoal. And I've kind of layered it to get some smoke at first, then charcoal, and then some smoke somewhere in between. This is probably going to be a 4.5 hour cook. It's 2 o'clock. We'll be eating around 7. But it's a 4th of July weekend, so you get to break away from your rules, right? So the meter is in here, and we talk about this, so I just want to show you how we do this. So we have 2, so obviously it's connected to that one. You push the button, excuse my cracked screen, it says set up cook. So I want to set up the cook. I'm cooking beef. It's a roast. It is a rib roast. And there it is. It says the finished temperature is 135. I'm going to say start the cook, and it asked me to start this at least 3 times. I don't know why. It's like, yes, I'm ready, or I wouldn't have pulled you out. And then it says, right now, that's the internal temperature of the meat is 53 degrees. Our target temperature is 135. It's not reading the ambient temperature of the grill because it's not out there. So, hold on. Don't go anywhere. We'll get ready to go, but me and my blue towels. You know that. And I bet you I've got one in my pocket. I do, but I always have these things hanging around. So, grill is smoking. Let's not waste that smoke. Let's go to the grill. Whoa, let's not lose the meat. A lot of butter on that baby. All right, we're going outside. Let's set this here for just a second. You see, nice smoke going. I've got the temperature set at 275. It says 325, but to me that starts to cook a little too fast. It's really starting to smoke. So, top rack, it's indirect. Let's just take our prime rib, set it right there. Look at all the smoke, how it's surrounding that. I'll tell you what, folks. This is going to be a delicious meal. It's a 4 to 5 hour cook. We'll come back and check in with me midway through this, but that's about it for now. So come back for the check-in. Hey guys, so let me bring you up to speed because obviously I didn't want to record all that was going on out here. So the meters,
It's been 3 hours.
It's been 3 hours, like 2 hours, 59 minutes, and 38 seconds. The done temperature is 135. We're at 120 right now. So what Beth and I like to do with any of our steaks or prime ribs is we like to reverse sear them. So we bring them up to 120, we pull them off, and then we bring the temperature of the grill up to about 650, get it really hot, and then we reverse sear it. And that doesn't mean that it's done at that point. Like, we'll go back and check the temperature, and if it's not there, we'll put it back up on the top rack. So bear with me for a second. We're going to take this off, but you're going to get a good look at this. I'm putting my gloves on because you guys have heard me say it many times, safety first, but look at that. Now, the one thing that I did learn, I will tell you this, and we'll always talk to you about what we learn, is that I relied on Publix to take the butcher twine and make this really tight, and they didn't do it. So the bone kind of slipped away, so I had to kind of reset it, but this is coming off. I'm going to set this over here. There are a ton of flies out on our deck. I don't know why. So we bought these little nifty things. I don't know where we got them, but if you want it, I don't know. I'll figure it out. Just ask me. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come here. We're at 250 right now. Like, they said start at 325. I started at 275. I thought it was cooking too fast, so I took it all the way down to like 190. I like a slow cook on our meat. So now I'm taking this up to 650. I'm going to wait for this to heat up and then come back. You'll see me reverse sear it. We'll see what the temperature is, and we'll finish it off from there. Come on back. Hey guys, so now I've got the temperature of the grill up to about 630. There was a fire, which I should have cleaned the grill off, and I didn't. Now, understand, there's still going to be a little bit of a fire. That's why I have these fire retardant gloves, but we're going in here right now for the reverse sear. So, and it's going to get flamey. There's no doubt about it. But we're only going to do a minute on each side. So I'm going to say, Alexa, set a timer for 1 minute. She did it. You didn't hear it. And then we'll come back in a minute. We'll flip it to the other side. We're just trying to get a little bit of bark on it. That's all we're trying to do. And then we'll move it back up to the rack. So come on back. Let me know when you... Hey guys, that's 1 minute. Here we go. Going back in. I'm surprised there's no flame going right now, but I burned a lot of that off. Here we go. I'm going to flip it over. Look at the grill marks. See, that's what you're looking for. You just want a little bit of bark on there. And then you know what? If you don't reach your temperature, it's okay. You just put it back up on the rack, but you want that bark on there. God, this gets so messy, doesn't it, though? But I'm going to tell you guys, safety first. So, Alexa, set a timer for 1 minute. Come on back. There we go. Alexa, stop. Go ahead.
Uh-oh.
You good?
Oh, no.
So, you see? Yep. That's why you have fire retardant gloves.
Oh.
So that you can go in.
My Lord.
You can't panic. It's cooking. It's what you got to do. Don't ever be afraid of a flame, but don't throw water on it because it will just flame. I have singed the hair off my arms that way. So now we're just going to let it come back down. The temperature is like at 125. It's giving me a little bit of warning, but we'll put it back on the top rack. We'll be fine. Come on back. Hey guys, so of course the weatherman is always right. Not. I wish I had a job like that. So actually what we did, I pulled it off. You see it sitting down here on the floor only because it's raining. I don't want it on the table. So I brought the temperature down to 500, okay? The temperature of the meat is sitting right now around, where are we at? 123. I'm just gonna put this back on right now on the top rack only until it gets to about 128. And then it's coming off. Because remember what I always talk about, that the target temperature is 135, but it's going to raise another 6 to 10 degrees when it comes on. And you have to remember that. So we've probably got another 2 minutes left. We'll pull it off. We'll let it rest for about 15 to 30 minutes, and then we'll cut into it. Come back for that. You're not going to want to miss it. All right, guys. This has to come off because the fat has started to make this cook a little too much. So you can't be afraid of that. You just got to reach in and you just got to get it. That's what you got. That's what fire retardant gloves are for. So we're at the right temperature right now.
Let's take a look.
Look at this. The bone pulled away only because the butcher twine kind of burnt off a little bit, but
it was a bad butcher twine.
I think we're okay because we're pulling this off at 125 degrees. It's going to keep coming up. You know what? Let's just go in the house and let it rest. Come on, let's follow me in. Come on.
Don't do this in flip-flops.
Yeah, flip-flops is not the right thing to do it in. There we go. She's got to spin. All right, so guys, we're just going to sit here. We're going to let this rest for the next 15 minutes, and then we're going to come back and we're going to cut into it. I think it's going to be great. Come on back. Hey guys, so here we are. It's the final. So let's review. Okay, so we started the grill. The suggested temperature was 325. I didn't do that because I believe that cooks too fast. So I started out at 275. I thought the temperature was coming up way too quick on the meat internally. So I actually took it all the way down to 195 because I like a slow cook on my meat. We're 4 hours into this. Once we got to about 3 hours and 45 minutes, we pulled it off. It was 125. We took it up. We took it up to 650. We did a reverse sear on it. You'll see the flames were really going really hot. And then we pulled it off. So now the temperature is saying 133. Target temperature was 135. We're going to go ahead and we're going to cut into this. What did I learn? I learned that don't trust the way your local store twines things together because it started to come apart. So let's just cut into it. Let's see what we got. And now it's saying it's ready. You gotta love that. All right, so I'm gonna cut this, which usually what happens, Beth loves the end piece. Alexa, stop. Oh, yeah.
That's my perfect piece.
That's Beth's piece
That's
right
mine
there.
already.
Alexa, stop. So I'm gonna give Beth a taste of this, and I'm gonna take a taste of it as well. All right, let's take a little taste. Let's cut that off. There you go, Beth. Here we go, Keith. That's kind of a big piece, but. That's good stuff.
It's good.
Oh. I think that's perfect. So guys, I know everybody does a prime rib. That's why we didn't want to meticulously take you through the process, but we got you there. You see what we did. You can try it. It was done on a charcoal grill. I think this is done perfectly for us. We used the meter as an assistant. Everything turned out great. We got broccoli over here too. It's going to be a real simple meal. Turned out great. Happy July 4th, guys. We'll see you next time.